Hey guys, this is Amy Hale, author of Shy Girl. Some of you may have already seen that I've changed the title to my book. It's now called The Uncharted Territory of the Anxious Mind. I think it sounds more interesting and it just captures everybody's attention a little bit more. What I wanted to do was read the new prologue. I have been working on the book, not as much as I wish I was, but such is life when you have a job and a kid and things like that. I wish I could work on it more. But I have added a lot to the book, and I know it seems like maybe I haven't because I haven't been on here, but I have, and I've actually changed the prologue, so I'm going to read that, and so enjoy. No one saw it coming. All the warning signs were there, weren't they? But how do you fix a problem you know nothing about? That's just it, you can't. So what could I have done? What could anyone have done? Growing up, I always knew I was shy. A pulsing fear always accompanied me when I decided to venture out into the world, and it's not a fear that ever truly went away. Just when I got a false sense of security, some invisible entity pushed me back into place with its sure fingers, sometimes further than ever before. Then came its voice, in the still of night. Silly girl, don't you know? Feeling calm never lasts long. Get back where you belong. And it didn't help that every little moment could seem like the end of the world, always keeping me on the edge of a cliff, just waiting for the push that would lead to the unknown, the dark abyss. Every trip, every slip of the tongue, every smile not returned, every lingering stare, they were all carefully catalogued away in my mind, queued up and ready for instant replay. For years of sleepless nights to come, staring at the ceiling, my life passing before my eyes at all hours of the night. And these were all symptoms of being shy? I took this as a fact, especially once the label began to really catch on. It became the recurring echo in my life, uttered constantly by my friends' seemingly sympathetic parents, their thin lips pressed together in muted smiles, school counselors with furrowed brows and concerned eyes, and even my own mom. It seemed like a diagnosis that seemed too commonplace an explanation for what I was feeling. Sympathetic voices told me, "You'll grow out of it." Condescending ones told me, "Get over it. You're fine." I avoided as many social gatherings as I could, especially if there wasn't someone I could cling to or follow around to keep me safe from the overwhelming fear that comes when alone in an unfamiliar territory. I had stomach aches before eating in public and before school dances. At school, seating arrangements, pre-made or spontaneous, were always a cause for worry, and at lunch, I always had a reason why I didn't need to get anything in the lunch line, even if I had forgotten my lunch at home. I would eye the lunch lines full of carefree teenagers whose simple actions were envied by my piercing green eyes. "I'm not that hungry anyway," I would say as my stomach grumbled loudly. Is this what a normal shy person does? At the time, I thought so, but something else was wrong. Now it seems so obvious, though I didn't know until years later. It was my normal, even though it seemed unnatural and unfair. I never questioned it, just lamented sadly within myself, at least not until I couldn't handle myself anymore. Why couldn't I have reached this conclusion sooner? Could I have figured it all out before hitting rock bottom? I guess sometimes it takes hitting that all-time low to really discover what's wrong and to truly discover yourself. If I would have known it sooner, maybe things could have been different, better, and much easier. But can I really reduce myself to what-ifs? We ride through life with the word "if" at the tips of our tongues, always coursing through our veins. It's on a loop in our mind like the 10-song loop on the radio, each individual "if" waiting to be revisited again. It's almost inevitable that we encounter it again, whether by choice or by lack of resilience. If I had discovered the problem when I was 10, I would have scolded myself for not reaching the conclusion when I was 9 or 8 for that matter. I guess all that's left to do is forget it and accept it. Life is an experiment, and a complicated one at that. We can sit back and watch our lives pass us by, avoiding choices so that we don't make mistakes. We can walk on eggshells for the rest of our lives. But where's the enjoyment in that? These are our lives, and without them, we have nothing.